Well, turning to the election, time now for our 2016 Power Index, where we look at who's up and who's down in the race for the White House. On the Republican side, we see the establishment favorite in the race, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush on top. And then with some positive bumps in the index, Texas Senator Ted Cruz and real estate mogul Donald Trump, while neurosurgeon Ben Carson is seeing a drop. And here to break it all down for us is Chris Stirewalt. He's a Fox News digital politics editor and author of Fox News First. Thank you for joining us. And,
howdy.
You know, lots of folks on the move, people watching this. Bush, first of all, I want to ask you that. He's not really moving, but he's still on the top.
Well, it's hard to beat the establishment, and the Republican Party has had a lot of nominees since the end of World War II, but only two of them have been not born and bred of the establishment, or at least approved by it, Barry Goldwater and Ronald Reagan. So it's very hard to do. So Jeb Bush is the presumptive favorite in this race. Now, that's not to say he's going to get there, and certainly he has had a much rougher go of it than a lot of people expected. He's hanging on, but it's a tough spot. And you see right behind him there, Ted Cruz, who takes the second spot, knocks off Scott Walker out of the second spot. Ted Cruz moves up as he deploys a lot of money, a lot of resources around the country. He's got his eye on Jeb Bush. But nobody has, of course, affected the race or changed things more than Donald Trump in this crazy hot summer. And what we saw from Donald Trump and what has him moving up so much this week is the fact that he is starting to deploy the resources necessary to build a real campaign. It's one thing to be famous. Everybody knows Donald Trump. He's got 100% name identification. He has high negatives, but he's known by everybody, and he's supported by about a quarter of the Republican Party. How do you translate that into real votes? Well, he's starting to do the things that reflect that. And if this trip to Mobile that we saw on Friday wasn't just a one-off, if this is going to be aggressive, active campaigning in early primary states, and he's going to be doing these rallies and doing this stuff, he's going to be tougher to get out than a lot of people thought.
And tough to predict what, in fact, he will be doing. Ben Carson, why is he going down?
Well, it's got to go somewhere. It's nothing. It's no fault of his. Carson did very well out of the Fox News debate. He is a real contender. But Donald Trump, just his move up means some folks got to go down. And Ben Carson faces the standard challenge that he does, which is better and more experienced people with organizations. Donald Trump may not be a politician, but he already had an organization. Building out the organization, doing that stuff is tough. But Ben Carson, it's no fault of his own. It's just the Donald is the Donald, right?
Right. Exactly. And there's only one. Someone who made the list, who hasn't made the list before, we didn't mention this off the top, but Chris Christie, for the first time, he's actually tied in, what, the 10th spot with Rand Paul. What moved him in?
He's a game bird, as we'd say. He is trying. He has got ads up. He is taking the fight to Hillary Clinton. He is upping his media profile. He is very aggressive right now. He's got a new ad out today where he is keeping it real himself as it relates to Hillary Clinton and all that stuff. So we're seeing a lot more vigor from him, and I'd say that this reflects a guy who's gonna. There was a period of time where you might have wondered, is Chris Christie really in this for the long haul? I'd say he probably is.
Sounds like he's in it to win it. Who else is on your radar?
Oh, we have the good news about the Republican field is the radar is so big. There's a lot of bogeys out on the radar. I would put these folks in the category now, and this includes Rick Perry, this includes Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, Lindsey Graham, George Pataki, and Jim Gilmore, former governor of Virginia. These are the folks who the pressure grows now. How long can you really keep doing this? How long will your donors abide you doing this stuff? Because pretty soon people are going to say to you, buddy, I love you. You're great. I'm all for you. But the longer you stay in, the more complicated and painful you make this race for the party. And it's hard to say so early, but the pressure is going to be there and it's going to start growing.
When do you think people will start dropping out quickly?
I would say everybody probably gets to stay in through the next couple debates, but by the time we get to when the frost is on the pumpkin, it'll be time for some of these folks to go home.
When the frost is on the pumpkin, and it actually might happen sooner than later. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it as always.